Okay, guys, now it's time to set up the vaccination. So let me just chill with me while I try to do the mix the vaccines for you guys to see. Okay, first of all, I'm going to mix milk inside of this water. So that will be the first thing. I use the conventional powdered milk. Okay, we are good. I'm using two. Just the beds are big. We have 200 beds. 201. Yes. We have 201 beds in here. But I'm using a 200 dose Dasota. Hope the camera is picking everything. Hope the camera is picking everything. I have my cameraman behind the camera. Okay, so we are done mixing the, although these things have not mixed properly. So the next thing is to add this thing. It came when I bought this vaccine, they put an ice cube inside of it just to make sure that the temperature around the vaccine is still cold. So guys, what I will do, I'll just mix this water with it so that the water is not too it's not too cold and not hot either. So the next thing is to take this cover off. What I do is that I open it inside of the water because the temperature of the water is a bit lower than the room temperature. It doesn't have to be too cold. It's just a little bit lower than room temperature. So that's why some persons use a syringe and pierce through this end and extract the contents inside of it. That's another process of doing that. But I don't have the syringe here with me, so I just go around the manual way. Meanwhile, remember what I told you guys that whenever you're after opening this stuff, you have to dispose the containers far away from your farm. Dispose the containers far away from your farm. So empty the content inside. So this is what we have. This is the vaccine. Come forward. Though. So the vaccine is a 200 dose. You can see the 200 dose Dasota vaccine. Got it here. Look, come front now. You just stand like a statue. So that is NT Dasota for Newcastle. So I'll dispose this on the bed. Ready to come on. Okay. So right about now, I'll have to now share it to the different drinkers so that it can go around quickly. Just little quantities. Okay, so with this can go around for all of them within a short period of time. Conscious of that drinker because the content is very small, so I love to sit down. Let me pick up this figure so that I can position one there. So this is what we have. That one. Alex, help me stand up. Help me stand up. Position am for the middle. They will push am down. So the content of this drinker is quite small. So there's every tendency that they will push it down because it's not on the floor. I kept it on a higher plane. Maybe I have to bring this down. So see the rush. If your birds are not rushing the water like this, that means they are not ready for vaccination. Because they need to be tested so that they get to consume it quickly within a short period of time. Because the vaccine weakens after a short, about 5 to 10 minutes, it gets weakened. So you need to make sure that they are starved of water so that they rush it quickly. So after this, I'm going to give them plain water. So you see the rush, I need to observe them to make sure that they are all having an equal dose of this vaccine. So at this point, I think I will have to cut this video and come back when they are done with this vaccination. They are done taking the Lasota vaccine. Although we had some little setback administering the vaccine, the watering can were not enough, and I didn't want to dilute too much of the vaccine with so much water. So I think some of the Noilers might not have had enough of the vaccine. But Noilers are stronger species of birds, so they can still withstand. I think the little most of them took should be enough for them. But the brothers had more of it. As you can see here, they are still crowded around the water. That means the water they took in was not enough for them from the vaccine medication. So I'm giving them plain clean water right now. Yes, they are plain clean water. So the way you vaccinate your birds and the way you administer medications on them will help them a long way. Will help to know how well your birds are doing. So even if you don't have enough feeders or enough drinkers, you can still raise birds successfully. So like this setup I have in here, the birds in here are 201. Yes, 201. And why it's been able to contain them is because of the extra 100 are Noilers. Please hold on, guys. The extra birds are Noilers, and Noilers are not usually very big in size. They grow quite smaller, and they are not, even if they grow taller, they don't grow as well as the broilers because they are cross species of chickens. So guys, these guys are doing, their health status is nice, it's okay, but their growth rate, is it okay enough? It's not at their peak. They are not growing at their peak level despite the quality of feed I'm giving to them. Why are they not growing at that peak? There are different reasons that are contributing to that fact. Number one, the lifetime they have is quite lesser than what they're supposed to have. You know, after the darkness, after the daylight, there are about 3 hours of darkness before I usually come back from work to now turn on the torch I have for them as source of light. And even the lights do not last all through the night. It goes low at some points. So those are the limitations that are attributing to the sizes of these birds. And secondly, why they are not growing at an even size, especially the Noilers, they have very uneven growth rate. Even the Noilers, even the broilers, some of the broilers are bigger than some. That's because of the feeders in here are not enough. So the feeders are quite few, and even the watering can too, to some extent, is quite few. So why am I using these few numbers of feeders and drinkers? It's because of the space I have in here. The space in here is quite small. So in order not to bring in too much of feeders and drinkers, so I just limit the numbers that can carry for the space so that the birds can also have some free space to move around. There's no wisdom in putting so many feeders and drinkers in here and the birds do not have space to move around. That's a terrible idea. And I was supposed to expand this space, but I'm a bit conscious about the barricades I'll be using because I just disinfected them not too long. So I don't want to just bring them. And the barricades I use is blocks. So blocks are quite difficult to disinfect properly, unlike using these zinc barricades. These zinc materials are quite easy to clean. And once you clean, you know that they are all totally clean. You can just use them immediately. Unlike the blocks, blocks tend to absorb water, and sometimes most of these insects stick around it unnecessarily. So that's why it's quite difficult. So when you're putting out the poultry pen, using zinc as your side walls is a perfect idea. So if you have a property in a place whereby the place is fenced and covered, using zinc for your side walls for a poultry pen is very ideal because it's quite easy to clean and easy to manage. So guys, these are all my activities for this morning. I've successfully vaccinated them. Yes, these are good. So by tomorrow, I'll give them multivitamin, and some of them might be going off for after brooding sales, especially the Noilers. So I'll be selling most of the Noilers, not if not all. I might just keep very few numbers of them. So when they get big a little bit, I'll still sell them off. So, but I will not keep them for too long, up to 3 months. So the Noilers usually take about 3 to 6 months before they get to full maturity. So I'm still doing a giveaway. Anybody that can give me a breakdown of the activities for the first 14 days, I'm going to gift that person Nola, 5 Nola chickens. So anybody that can give me breakdown of the activities that happen in the first 14 days, I'm going to gift that person Nola chickens. So this is basically activities for today, and I will still update you guys during evening hours of how well these birds are doing. So this is all for now. Just enjoy the view of these birds. They're looking nice and cool. So in 2 days time, I'll move them away from here. I'll move them away from this space. Although the space I'm moving them to is not too big, but it's a bit spacious than this. I'm more secured for especially the Noilers. Hello guys, this is a night check. Check on how these guys are doing. Wow. Feet are down, feet are down, feet are down. And notice there's a cluster around this region. I think the cluster around this region, maybe this area is more ventilated, or here is a bit messy. I didn't clean here last time, so I think here is a bit messy. So there are more clusters around this area. There is more needs, and the water in this drinker is already out. So they need more big feeders, but having a space constraint. The space here is tight, so as a result of the small space, I can't be bringing in more feeders. That's the challenge we're having right now. So the challenge we're having right now is non-availability of space. I think just maybe I might do a very quick adjustment for them. Because the space is getting tighter and tighter. Just maybe I'll do the little adjustment tomorrow morning, because I don't have intention of spending much time in here because of the mosquitoes around. So what I will just quickly do is to top up water in one of the drinkers here to serve them till when this light finally go off. I'll top up water here and maybe add an extra over there. But that watering can seems like it's blocked. Seems like the waterway from this drinker is blocked. I thought as much. So you see the challenge of keeping this drinker on the floor. There's everything else like blocked. So that's what happened to this drinker. Blocked. So I'll take it off. Even though I've been exhausted. So we only have water in the big watering can remaining. We only have water left in this big watering can. So what I'll quickly do is to add feeds in these small feeders. Although the broilers are very much bigger than using this feeder. So using that feeder is more like a waste of feed. But I think I'll still take the risk because of the Noilers, because the Noilers need that easy access to feed, because the broilers will always occupy most of the feeding positions. So I'll just add feed in those small feeders for the Noilers so that they can also have access. If you watch very well, since there's light, the big feeders occupy more with the broilers, and the broilers have more strength, so they occupy more space. So same thing over here, the broilers are occupying more space. So I'll just add more feeds on these small feeders for them, so that they can have access to feeds, especially the Noilers. Position this. Okay, I have to bring this down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. sugar is dirty. Okay, just test it. So I place one drinker here, and this one is still water left over here. So this should serve them till when darkness covers entirely. And although the position of feeders around this region is a bit compact, this guy is supposed to go down a little bit, just a little bit. But I have one other one down there. But there is going to be, there's every tendency that that feeder might be shaded by darkness because of this guy over here. But would I allow that to fly? Yes, let me just allow that to fly. So that's just basically it this night. So this light might go down in the next 3 or 4 hours, I guess. So that should serve them for a while. It's just that I'm a bit concerned about the water level. This water will not stay too long, and then I don't want to take chances of dropping this watering can on the floor on that end, because that end there's lots of fresh sawdust there which might get in the way of the drinker, and I don't have containers that I can use to raise it up so that it doesn't spill on the floor, which will now cause another hazard. When water spills on the litters, it raises chances of the bacterial infection for coccidiosis and other bacterial infections to go high, of which we don't want that in this flock. So we are just going to try to manage the space as much as we can till when I get to evacuate these birds from here. So I'll be taking them off from here in the next, maybe by next tomorrow. Yes, by next tomorrow I'll be taking these birds off this space to a space that's a bit large for them, and which is going to be more secure for the Noilers. The Noilers can fly; they jump a lot. You can see them; they jump a lot. So I can't keep them in this space for too long because this place is not really secured enough for the Noilers, because they can fly as high as this. So I want to take them to a pen where it's a bit more covered. Then I'll start selling some of the Noilers and Broilers tomorrow after brooding, but I will sell more of the Noilers. So that's just it for today. I'll share with you guys updates by tomorrow. So this is just that's what we can share for today. And today was a good vaccination day. So from tomorrow I'll be giving them maybe a multivitamin to help with the stress of the vaccinations, them being starved with water, because that's a huge stress. So the broilers are growing very well. I'm using Breedwell starter feed for them, so their growth is impressive. They're supposed to even grow bigger than this, just because of the tight space and the lighting that is not enough for them, and also the feeders. So we have about 3 constraints which is limiting their growth, but they are doing well. Their health status is nice, which is very paramount. So we have birds that are healthy and doing well. So this is all for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.